Well, the month of June marks Idaho Wine and Cider Month, and all week long here on Good Morning Idaho, we've been taking a closer look at the booming wine industry here in the Gem State. So today we're exploring what makes Southwest Idaho in particular such a sweet spot for winemaking.
Oh yeah, it turns out our weather is where it's at. So meteorologist Rachel Garceau headed into wine country to learn how Idaho weather and wine are the perfect pairing.
When you uncork your favorite bottle of Idaho wine, what do you taste? Grapes, of course, maybe some floral or fruity tones, but what about sunshine?
What we're doing was capturing the flavors of everything that's around the vineyard, from the soil to the weather that year.
That's Mike McClure, winemaker at Cuna's Indian Creek Winery.
My in-laws planted the grapes back in 1982. It's one of the older vineyards in the state of Idaho.
Over 50 wineries now dot the landscape of the Gem State, in large part because southern Idaho weather is great for grape growing.
We have nice warm days, cool nights, which helps create a lot of balance in the finished wines.
Balance is the ultimate goal, but McClure says even small shifts in annual patterns can change the flavor of a vintage.
Warmer years in general tend to produce riper flavors in the wines, whereas cooler years we tend to retain a little bit more acidity and a little bit more structure in the wines.
So what happens when a dramatic weather event hits the vines? Ron Bittner of Caldwell's Bittner Vineyards knows all too well.
17 was the worst, where it actually took our vines to the ground.
Snowmageddon, the winter of 2017, when Southwest Idaho got buried in 3 feet of snow. It devastated wine production that year.
We normally produce 900 cases of red wine. That year we produced 177 total.
Cold snaps can actually have a pretty big impact on what ends up going into your glass.
And if the leaves fall off the plant with the frost, you don't make the flavors you need. Like a Cabernet, if it's too cold that year and you pick it late in the season, you can end up with real vegetative flavors.
Outside of those rare, intense weather events, though, Southwest Idaho weather generally lends itself to a wide variety of healthy, robust, delicious grapes.
We also have really dry, warm summers, which keeps a lot of the pest pressures down. We hardly deal with any major bugs, or powdery mildew is a very little concern too.
Winemakers work in conjunction with Mother Nature, nurturing even the soil to keep their plants healthy from top to bottom.
Really focus on soil health, trying to retain as much moisture in the soil and keep the vines healthier, which kind of act as a buffer between those major climatic kind of swings.
Bittner says despite the ups and downs of his 40 years of growing grapes in the Treasure Valley, he wouldn't change a thing.
You know, all in all, I wouldn't trade what we have here in Idaho for anything.
From Idaho Wine Country, I'm Rachel Garceau, Idaho News 6.
And one other fun fact for you. While most Idaho crops are pollinated by bees, grapevines are not. Ron Bittner tells us they are wind pollinated, meaning the pollen moves from plant to plant via the movement of air instead of insects. To learn more about the connection between wine and weather and to catch up on all of the wine and cider goings on from the week, just search Idaho Wine at idahonews6.com.